Are you Bobby?
I'm his height and I'm his color.
Everybody happy? Good. Clear. Happy. I'm getting the director. Phil. Careful.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here with my friend, great governor of the state of Florida, Charlie Crist, who, as we know, is a great environmentalist and also a person who believes that we should seriously consider offshore drilling. He also has taken recent measures that can preserve one of the world's great natural treasures, the Everglades. And as many in Florida know, Charlie Crist had the generosity of spirit to endorse me just before the primary, which played a major role in our victory here in Florida. But most of all, he's doing a great job in governing a diverse and magnificent state. I'd like to mention a couple items very briefly. One is that last month, the month of July, marked the lowest casualty rates in the war. And that is a direct result of the great generalship of General Petraeus and his leadership and that of the brave young men and women who have served. A single loss of life, a single grievous wound, we mourn, and it saddens us all. But the fact is that we are moving forward with an agreement with the Iraqi government because the surge has succeeded. And I think it's long overdue that Senator Obama acknowledge that the surge succeeded. Now, on the issue of energy, it continues at town halls to be the #1 issue on Americans' minds, and they want us to do something about the high price of a gallon of gas. They want offshore drilling, and they want to drill now. And I met with independent oil company executives recently who told me that they could utilize existing facilities to increase our oil supply in a matter of months and build new facilities in a very short space of time. Now, that's what they said. I continuously see some people say, well, it wouldn't matter, it would take many years, etc. That's not what the people who are in the business are telling me. And I'd like to also say that, finally, that we need, obviously, to have a Congress that will act on this issue. I note with some interest that the Congress decided to go into recess for a month without acting on the energy issue, and that's a disgraceful performance, and one that obviously contributes to the 9% approval rating of the American people. It's time that Congress came together, Republican and Democrat, and we know it is under Democrat majority in both houses, and address the issue of energy independence. So with that, I would like to answer any questions that you have.
Senator, your opponent today...
I recognize people when they raise their hands rather than yeah. Ed, did you have a question?
Yeah. You talked about the Congress not stepping up to the plate. In fact, some would say you have used as many votes as anybody in Congress this year. You've been preoccupied, but is there another reason to decide?
Well, I'd like to say that, as happened in 2000, I was this votes. People of Arizona understand that I'm running for president of the United States, that I'm not there voting. I would be there if I was not running, but the fact is that we are gridlocked in Congress. We are gridlocked because the Democratic leadership refuses to reach across the aisle and work with the Republicans. We're gridlocked on virtually every single issue. And so I want to assure you, when I'm president, I will reach across the aisle, we will sit down, we will work together, and we will do it in a bipartisan fashion, and we'll solve the issues that confront the American people. Yes, sir.
Senator Obama earlier today expressed support for a plan, a bipartisan energy plan that would allow oil drilling within 50 miles of Florida's west coast. I'd like to get your reaction to that and him coming around to that position.
We need oil drilling, and we need it now offshore. We need it now. He has consistently opposed it. He has opposed nuclear power. He has opposed reprocessing. He has opposed storage. And the only thing I've heard him say is that we should inflate our tires. So He has no plan for addressing the energy challenges that we face, and we need drilling everywhere that the states and the governors, such as in the state of Florida, approve of.
Please tell us the thinking behind this new web ad that mocks Obama as a Messiah-like figure.
We were having some fun. We're having some fun with our supporters that we sent it out to, and we're going to display a sense of humor in this campaign. I noticed a couple of days ago that Senator Obama challenged me to a duel. Well, lightsabers is my weapon of choice. But seriously, if we have differences, we should have appeared at the Urban League convention today. I've asked him time after time to appear with me on the same stage so we can discuss the issues that are important to the American people. So I look forward to people across this country saying, appear together, appear in town hall meetings and discuss the issues that are important to the United States of America. Kelly.
Can I just follow up on that, Senator? The political video today does use religious imagery. Some people might have questions about that. Where does mocking, as it has been described by some of your critics, no longer include a respectful campaign? Where is the line for you?
This is a very respectful campaign. I repeated my admiration and respect for Senator Obama. That clip is Charlton Heston. It's a movie. It's a movie. So I really appreciated the movie, and I appreciated Charlton Heston's magnificent acting skills as I saw it, but it's a movie. Yes.
Senator, are you going to steal our governor for vice president?
I think that your governor has earned a place in the Republican Party, not just in the state of Florida, but nationally. He's a great leader, and I think that obviously he has a major role to play in the Republican Party in this nation in the future. We aren't talking about the process, but everybody knows the respect and appreciation I have for him.
Sir, you're receiving a lot of criticism of late for making this campaign go negative. Are you at fault for making this campaign negative? And why not keep the discussion focused on the issues as opposed to Obama's character?
Well, I don't think it's negative. I think we're drawing the differences between us. I think that that the videos that we had was about taxes and about energy. That's what we want this campaign to be about, is the differences in our positions. And why don't we stand together at a town hall meeting? That's what we offered and asked for. His answer was that he would have one additional debate, and that would be on the 4th of July. So I don't think our campaign is negative in the slightest. We think it's got a lot of humor in it, and we're having fun and enjoying it. And that's what campaigns are going to be like. That's what every campaign that I've been involved in. And I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm the underdog, and we'll continue to fight and scrap all the way to November the 4th. Yes, Julie. And then you, Michael. I'm sorry.
Senator, can you explain why you and your campaign manager have specifically said that Obama played the race card with his comments the other day? And can you elaborate when you said that you fought for equal rights for your entire life, what specifically you've done focusing on improving the lives of African Americans?
All right. Well, first of all, the first question you said, why am I?
Well, what it is when your campaign manager and you reiterated that you backed Davis in saying he played the race card.
Because I think his comments were clearly the race card. Because of what he said. Everybody can read his remarks, and in fact, his campaign retracted those remarks. So I think it's very clear, and I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed at his comments. And so his campaign retracted those remarks, so let's move on. I've supported legislation time after time that would provide equal opportunities for all Americans. I have supported lower taxes. I've supported increases in educational benefits. I have supported hundreds of pieces of legislation which would help Americans obtain an equal opportunity in America. I'm proud of that record. From fighting for the recognition of Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday in my state to sponsoring specific legislation that would prevent discrimination in any shape or form in America today, and I'm proud of that fight. I'd be glad to give you the legislative record of my efforts. Michael.
The accusation that Senator Obama had played the race card had the effect of putting race front and center in the presidential debate. Was that the intent at all?
I didn't bring up the issue. I did not bring up the issue. Senator Obama did 3 times in one day. And his campaign later retracted it. So I think it's pretty obvious that at least they acknowledged that. So he brought up the issue of race. I responded to it because I'm disappointed, and I don't want that issue to be part of this campaign. And since his campaign retracted it, I'm ready to move on, and I think we should move on. Yes.
Senator, factcheck.org, the nonpartisan fact-checking website, has cited 8 or 9 of your recent ads as containing false or misleading information. I was wondering how you would respond to this, and how do you reconcile it with your pledge to run an honorable campaign?
I don't respond to websites that I have no idea what they're talking about. I'm proud of our campaign. We have been fair, we have been balanced, and we have clearly pointed out the differences between myself and Senator Obama. And I'd be glad to go through those with you. He wants higher taxes. I want to keep taxes low. He wants the government to run the health care system in America. I want the families to make the choice. He says that the surge didn't work and couldn't work and fails to acknowledge it. I know we have succeeded and are on the road to victory in Iraq. He says that he's opposed to offshore drilling. I am in support of it. So we could go down a long list, and those are part of the advertising we're going. So I have no idea what a website is referring to. I'm very proud of our campaign, and it's very interesting to me that we are now neck and neck and pretty well tied, so we've got a lot of tough campaigning to go ahead of us.
Thank you. After years of Republican control in Florida and in the nation, the economy is as bad as it's been in a very long time. Why should voters trust a Republican to turn things around?
Because of my record and my vision. Because of my record of fighting out of control spending, my record of supporting measures ranging from nuclear power and energy independence to a balanced budget and restraint in spending and economic growth, job opportunities across the board. But they also want to know my plan for action in order to restore this economy. And one of those is to keep taxes low. Senator Obama wants to make taxes higher and raise taxes across the board. Businesses in America are in the second highest taxes of any businesses in the world, 35%. Only Japan is higher. Ireland is 11%. China and India are lower. I want lower taxes on business. Senator Obama wants higher. So we'll be very active in pointing out the differences, and I'm confident that we will be able to achieve that. Yes, sir.
Senator, there's about to be a major political change. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. There's about to be a fairly major political change in the state of Israel. Could you compare and contrast it, I guess relatively briefly, why Jews across the nation should vote for a Republican when historically they have leaned so predominantly Democrat, and it would appear to be a good time to maybe look at how you could allay some of their concerns?
Well, I think my record over the years, first time I was in Israel was many, many years ago with Henry Scoop Jackson, then senator from the state of Washington. I've been involved in their issues. I have knowledge of them. I know the leaders very well. I have close relationships with them, and I have in-depth knowledge of what's necessary in bringing about a successful process in negotiations for peace in the region. So I have a clear and long record. Senator Obama, as we know, said that in the speech to the AIPAC that he was in favor of an undivided Jerusalem, and then the next day obviously had to retract that. So I think that the people of America who are vitally concerned, as most Americans are, about the future of the State of Israel and the threat that it faces from its enemies, I think we'll have trust and confidence in my ability to work closely with our closest ally, and we will never allow a second Holocaust when I'm President of the United States. All right?
Thank you, Senator. Just back to the problems we're facing in the economy. As you know, earlier this week, the government announced that we're running about a $500 billion deficit. How does that, given that news and given the bleak situation we're in, how does that square with your plan to extend, continue, make permanent President Bush's tax cuts and to balance the budget eventually?
Because I believe firmly, and I'm convinced, that lower taxes is important, particularly in very difficult economic times. I think one of the best examples I can give you is capital gains. Senator Obama wants to increase capital gains taxes. History shows since 1960, when Senator Kennedy said we would lower capital gains taxes, every time we've lowered capital gains taxes, there's been an increase in revenue. That's a historical fact. I think the worst thing you could do is raise people's taxes in very difficult economic times. So it renews my commitment to keeping taxes low and letting people keep more of their hard-earned salaries, wages, and profits. And whatever happens in the economy, I think it can only harm it by increasing taxes. So if we don't keep taxes low, we could turn this serious situation we have economically into a worse situation. Brett.
Senator, could you give us your reaction to the indictment of Senator Stevens?
Well, I believe Senator Stevens has the presumption of innocence of every American citizen until proven guilty. Senator Stevens and I have clashed many times over the years over the spending practices and the appropriations process, where appropriations are put in the middle of the night, and it has bred corruption. And I say that because there are former members of Congress now residing in federal prison. So Senator Stevens and I have had significant disagreement over spending practices, but I believe he has the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. Can I just say that how much I appreciate being here with Governor Christ in the great state of Florida. It will be a battleground state. I have every expectation that we will be up late on election night waiting for the returns from the state of Florida. I believe I can win it, but I know I have a lot of work to do and a lot of campaigning to do in this state in order to be successful, and I intend to be here a great deal. Thank you very much.
Thanks for doing it, Senator.
Thank you. See you later.